YouTube family, what's up? I want to jump right into this video on how I like to butcher fish. Look how beautiful this specimen is. Now, this is striped bass, and I think it's really important. I've been getting a lot of DMs and messages on how I butcher fish, and I just wanted to show you my technique. There's a lot of different ways to do this, but basically I'm going to start by making a few incisions. So grab the two fins right behind the collar, and you're going to make an incision. I like to invert the knife and make sure you get through. So that's your first cut. Next cut, I'm going to make a little incision towards the tail just so I get a perfect fillet when I go to cut it off, right? And I know where I'm going. Then I'm going to start by taking the first fillet off. So as you can see, one nice clean line and then straight down to the head, right? Tip of the knife to the spine. I don't go past that. Then what I like to do is go over the spine and then push my knife through the belly and straight down to the tail. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm leaving that fillet on the fish, so that way when I go to fillet the other side, right, I don't have that bump, right, like because the head gets in the way. So what I'm going to do is make the incision right behind the fins, just like I did on the other part. And I'm doing it for the camera, like, so I have the fish shaped a weird way, but same technique. So it took me a little bit to get this, but it's totally fine. We're going to roll with it. All right, next, I think what's really important is, as you can see, I'm picking off a few scales, and just so they don't get in the way when I go to cut it. Now, a lot of people cut along where the fins are, but what I suggest is go about 1/4 of an inch above where the fin is, the back fin, and then cut the fillet, right? Just trust me on this. You want to make sure you feel the spine. Try not to make too much sawing motions, and you want to make nice clean cuts. So to the backbone, then I push the tip of the knife through the belly, okay, through the belly, over the spine, and then down to the tail. Please forgive me, I'm filleting this really weird because I'm trying to set up this is a different camera angle. I really wanted to get a close-up, but anyway, needless to say. So what I'm going to do here is both of the fillets, all that's left is the belly bone, okay? So what I'm going to do is very quickly, boom, right up, and then take that fillet off, and then same thing on this side, straight up, and then all we have to do is remove the belly bones. Now, you can fillet the fish with removing the belly bones right away, but I don't like to do that because there's this nice piece of meat that you get when you cut the belly bones out this way, right? So as you can see, I still have that. It makes better for a portion. So look at this fillet. This is basically a whole fillet, and then the only issue you have now is these little pin bones, and you just want to remove those with tweezers. Now, I'm going to show you another example with the other fillet. I think what's really important is just know that now that the flesh is exposed, be mindful of that, and just know that there's a taste associated with the skin being clean and the flesh being treated properly. So keep that in mind. You don't want any gunk left over, that like the slime from the flesh, or from the skin or anything like that on your cutting board while the meat is exposed. All right, so I'm cutting out this other set of belly bones, and then boom, that is it, right? So once you get the hang of it, it's actually really easy. You just have to know which type of fish you're breaking down and which way to go. So I made a little mistake there. I actually cut too much of the fillet, but dude, it's totally fine. Like, if you make a mistake, don't be like upset at yourself. Just, go with the flow and do better next time. That's all I can say. Right now, I'm going to remove the skin from this fish because I am making ceviche. So, I think what's really important is like you make the decision as a chef or as a cook, whether you want to keep the skin on or not. Honestly, there's so many, I love the skin, I love crispy skin, but I know a lot of people that don't like fish skin. So, it's very subjective, and I think it boils down to personal preference. What I will say is, in my experience, I do not suggest the skin on if the fish is a little bit on the not fresher side. So if it's like, 3 to 4 days out, whatever the case may be, I would suggest removing that bloodline because that bloodline will taste a little funky. So anyway, we're going to get into cutting this fillet, and basically let me show you how I do this. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove pretty much all of this red. I'm splitting this fillet. I'm separating the top loin from the belly of the fish, and then I'm going to remove the pin bones by just slicing around them. This is very similar to what I would do with hamachi or tuna. Think of it that way. And you see all this red that's in there? That's the bloodline. It's totally fine. If you're going to cook it on white fish, I think the bloodline is okay. But for ceviche, I don't really want that. That's where like primarily that fishy smell comes from, especially like with salmon. If the salmon's not super fresh, the bloodline does not taste good, let me tell you. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to post a ceviche video over my TikTok if you want to follow me over there. But if you're not following me on all my socials, you gotta go check it out. IG, Twitter, everything's linked down in the description. So make sure you check that out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you smash that like button and hit that subscribe. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this. Thanks a lot.